tuning into Beacon Marketing's Video of the Week. My name is Roger Gallegos. I am the founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. Today, I am going to close out my series on looking ahead to marketing your business in 2020 by sharing some specific tips that you can take to set yourself up or position yourself for success when it comes to marketing in the coming year. Now, up to this point, I've really talked about kind of theoretical stuff, such as trends for marketing in the new year, how to tell your story, and also setting up a system of marketing. Those things are kind of theoretical in terms of how they relate to marketing. Today, I'm actually getting down to some practical tips. These are things that you can do right now, implementing them today so you can start promoting your business in the most effective and efficient manner, because that's what I'm about. That's what I like to focus on. I wrote a blog about this. Now, generally, my blogs kind of work in two functions where I talk about the theory of something and then give some practical tips. Today, they're going to really focus on the same thing because I believe it's so important that these tips are so important that you actually have some tangible things that you can start doing today at this moment to really look to set yourself up for success. So we're going to get into that, but if you're interested about reading more into the details, I go into a little more detail in my blog. I'll share, again, as always, I'll share the link to the blog in the description for this video. So let's jump right into it. We have 7 tips. So we'll jump right into the first one, and that is set your organizational goals for the new year. Now, what I mean for that is determine exactly where you want your business to be in the first 6 months, by the end of the year, and even 18 months in the future. And an example of that would be saying we want to accomplish X, Y, and Z over this period of time. And what that will do is that will allow you to sit there and say, how can I use what I'm doing in my marketing to get me to those organizational goals? So the first step that you want to do when setting yourself up for success in marketing is determine exactly what are you marketing for, and that is your organizational goals. What's the bigger picture that you're trying to accomplish? So if you detail that, it will make it much easier to understand exactly how you should market your business. So that's the first step: set your organizational goals, and that ties right into step number 2, which is align your marketing and organizational goals. So let's say, and I use this example in my blog, let's say you're a floral shop and you want to build a new window display. You want to renovate your shop so you can have a new window display that really highlights certain arrangements and really highlights your business, because right now you're not quite sure if it reflects properly what you're doing. In order to do that, you realize that you have to generate 20% more revenue in the first 9 months, because you want to get this done within the first year. So you want to do it around the 9-month mark of 2020. To do that, you want to generate 20% more of revenue in the first 6 months. So all your goals would be aligned. Your marketing goals should be aligned to meet that ultimate goal for your organizational goal. So whether it's focusing on doing more weddings, focusing on deliveries, whatever it may be, you want to sit there and say, we're going to do more of X so we can accomplish Y, with X being a certain service or product and Y being your ultimate organizational goal. So first step, set your organizational goal. Second step, align your marketing and organizational goals so you're working in an efficient and effective manner. Third step is evaluate your resources. Now, this is your employees, this is your money, this is any assets you have, such as images, pictures. This is even your marketing channels, such as email marketing, social media marketing, website. All these things are ways that you promote your business, and things that you could use to promote your business. So take some time to kind of sit down and evaluate how you're going to use those and what things do you have with your resources. Maybe you need to hire someone extra, maybe you need to hire outside help. Whatever it may be, you first need to understand what you have to work with, because it makes no sense to create a plan that you're not able to execute because you just don't have the resources. If you don't have a camera to take videos, then you're kind of up a creek when it comes to creative videos. So maybe you go out and buy a camera to do videos, or maybe you exclude that for the time being because it's just not in the budget. Whatever it may be, you need to evaluate your resources to see what you are able to accomplish with your marketing. So, again, the steps so far are: set your organizational goals, align your marketing and your organizational goals, evaluate your resources. The fourth step is define your target audience. You probably already know who your target audience is, so it's not going to take much work, but it does help to sit down and say, let's tweak that a bit if need be. Let's look at it to see, do we need to target a certain segment? So, for instance, going back to the floral shop, if you are targeting weddings per se, you probably want to target people who are getting married, wedding planners, and venues who host weddings, because you're going to get leads from the second two, and the first one's obviously your ultimate lead. So you want to target those people. So maybe you just sit there and say, the first 6 months, this is where we're going to focus on. So all our marketing efforts are going to go to this one segment of our audience. Doesn't mean you're going to ignore the rest of it. Just means you're going to make that a priority. So just think about your target audience, see if you have to tweak anything or if you're going to focus on a segment. So far we have set your organizational goals, align your marketing and organizational goals, evaluate your resources, and redefine or tweak your target audience. Fifth one is ensure all your marketing channels are aligned. Now, this is similar to or in line with your marketing resources. What this really means is look at all of your, and what I'm talking about here is your digital marketing channel. So look at your all your social media channels, your website, your email marketing. Do they all have the same colors? Do they have the same headers? Do they have the same logo? Are your hours correct in all of them? Is your bio, the about us correct? All these things are ways you are displaying your brand to the outside world, and you want those things to be in line so there's no confusion. Like, so for instance, again, going back to that flower shop, if you were to have your hours wrong on different channels, people say, well, I don't know when they're open. They're going to get frustrated and they're going to move on. So you want to make sure everything is aligned in order and that is portraying the right message. So it just puts you in a better position to succeed and hit the ground running in 2020. So set your organizational goals, align your marketing and organizational goals, evaluate your resources, define your target audience, and align all your marketing channels so you're portraying the right message. Sixth, determine what forms of marketing content you're going to develop and publish. This is very, very important because you want to start laying the groundwork for how you're going to develop those that content, which we'll get into the next step. But you have to understand what types of content, what forms of content you're going to develop, and what you're really going to speak to. So again, let's focus on that floral shop. Let's say you're targeting wedding planners, brides to be, and wedding venues. So maybe you're talking about colors, arrangements, different trends in the industry. You're just trying to get them and portray your knowledge, get them to your site, get them to your social media feed, and show them your knowledge about the industry, your knowledgeable about what you're selling and the service that you're providing, so they'll come to you and you really address a concern about it. That's at the end, that's what you're really doing, is you're trying to address a concern or a need that they may have. And so outline how you're going to do that, and you'll have a better chance of knowing exactly what you need to do content wise when it comes to the new year. So set your organizational goals, align your marketing and organizational goals, evaluate your resources, define your target audience, make sure all your marketing channels are aligned with the information you're putting out there, and determine which forms of marketing content you want to develop and publish. The last thing you want to do is develop a plan for implementation. Now, what I mean by this is if you already know who you're targeting and you already knowing how you're going to target them by means of marketing channels and marketing content, take some time to outline how everything's going to work together with your resources, with your goals, with all your things. Take some time to implement this, to create a marketing calendar, to create a timeline for how you're going to do all these things. It will make things much clearer. This is where the rubber hits the road, is your implementation plan, because up to this point, everything has been theoretical. You're just kind of in theory mapping everything out. But your implementation plan, that will guide you in how you're going to make this plan a reality. So create a plan for implementation. And so you know when and how you're going to do everything, and it'll make all these things much easier, because it's going to seem like a lot at first, but when you start breaking it down into pieces, it's going to seem much more manageable, particularly if you do it ahead of time and you sit there and say, I have my plan now. If you set your plan now, you could put it on your calendar and you can sit there and say, starting in October, starting in mid-October, we're going to start doing X, Y, and Z to align all of our marketing channels, to create all the marketing content, to make sure our target audience is set, to make sure we marshal and gather all of our resources. And that way, when it comes to 2020, you are ready to go. You are ready to hit the ground running and be above and beyond all of your competitors, because you've done all the legwork. You set the groundwork now in late summer, and you're just ready to really put the pedal to the metal when the new year hits. Because if you do that, you're just going to find a lot more success. If you hit the ground, if you are flat-footed, it's going to be much harder to get get started, because it's after the new year. The holidays are a drag, and January in general is a drag. But if you do it now, you're going to get much clearer, and you're going to be focused on what you want to do, and you're going to find that the first quarter of 2020 is going to be much better, because you lay the groundwork now. So that's it for me regarding setting yourself up for success. Again, I did a whole series of looking ahead to marketing your business in 2020. Look at all my blogs and all my videos. I'll include a link. Again, I'll include a link to the blog, to this blog for this video in the description. If you're interested in a free 60-minute consultation, please let me know. I will include a link to that. You can schedule that with me. I will also put a link to my weekly newsletter if you are not part of that. Again, my name is Roger Gallegos. This is Beacon Marketing's Video of the Week. I greatly appreciate your time, and I look forward to hearing from you. You have a great day.